Hey guys, my name's Sarah and I live in my self-converted camper van and I have 13 hours to drive today, so I figured I would talk about safety, which is something I've been wanting to make a video about for a while. Just safety as a solo female traveler, specifically someone who lives in a van, but in general as well. And whether I feel unsafe, like the tips and the rules I've created for myself kind of around this. First off, I do think it is probably more unsafe to live in a car than a house. I just think a house is a little more protected. You can choose it's just a little more protected. So there are definitely more risks living in a home. That being said, I do think it's more safe in some areas because you're constantly changing locations and it's like you can't really have a stalker as easily. I've had friends that have stalkers and have been followed home and stuff like that. Like, I mean, you can follow me home, but I'm moving all the time. So you can't really, like, I don't know. I think that it's safer in some ways and more unsafe in other ways. That being said, I do think that calculated risk is important as human beings for our mental health, for everything. Like, we as a society oftentimes, I've just noticed that as a society we just want to be so safe in our little houses and neighborhoods. With our jobs we want to be safe, emotionally, with relationships we want to be safe, like and even with our kids, like we just want them to be so safe, and it almost prohibits them from learning because these risks that they take, and they're learning every time with these calculated risks, right? So if you block your kid off from any risks whatsoever, they're not going to be able to navigate and learn, because that's a really important part of our growth. So yeah, I think that it is calculated risk living in a van, traveling in general, and I think that that's a good thing. I mean, not to be completely unsafe and like throw yourself in a war zone, but like push those boundaries a little bit, and I think you'll learn a lot. So that being said, some of the things I did to ensure that I was prepared and just had more tools for my safety in this form of travel was, before I even moved into the van, I took boxing self-defense classes for over a year. It was Krav Maga classes, and that completely shifted and changed a part of my mind, actually, where before, if I was in an unsafe or I felt unsafe, I would kind of panic. Whereas now, if I ever feel unsafe, it's just a completely different mind switch to, like, I feel like I know what to do. And I think everyone who's planning to travel, everyone in general, should take self-defense boxing classes. Like, I just think it's a really good tool, and I don't keep a gun or like weapons in the van. I'm my weapon. Like, I have knives, yeah, but like I can defend myself with my body, which I think is really cool and very valuable, because you don't have to like carry things around and carry a gun around that you like might just accidentally shoot yourself. So I did that. Then once I moved into the van, I just kind of created some rules, some general ones. If I don't know a location, if I do know a location, I know it's safe, I'll be a little more comfortable and chill. But if I don't know a location, I definitely don't have anything up here in the front that, I mean, I never have stuff in the front like a backpack or anything like that. Nothing's up here, and nothing that distinguishes me as a girl, nothing like super feminine. It's just kind of clean up here, and there's not a lot. And that's how I like to keep it, just because that matters, you know? And then I sleep with my car alarm on, with my car locked, obviously, and with a knife, like my just kitchen knife, and also pepper spray right by my bed. So that's that. That's all yeah. And also, I'm just very intuitive. Like, in these situations, you have to kind of feel out, and you get a sense for locations, definitely, but sometimes I'll get a gut feeling that I don't like a place, and I'm totally fine to move. Like, my home moves. Why would I not move if I don't feel safe? So if I just get a bad feeling about a location, I'll just move. It's not a big deal for me. And I think that's also important, is knowing when to trust yourself and leave the situation, because you get those gut feelings for a reason, you know. So beyond that, I just talking to rangers and when people, or cops, when people knock on the door. So I park in various different places, and some of them you're not allowed to park there. So there's that risk of a ranger or a cop coming. And for me, again, I feel out this situation. If it's like not a place where I feel comfortable having a human encounter, I'll just ignore it. Because as long as there's not a sign that says like no parking from these times, they can't really give you a ticket. You're not allowed to sleep in your van, but like they can't really prove that you're sleeping in your van, you know? So I'll just ignore it. If I feel like I'm not in a good place to. But if I am in a place where I feel pretty safe, I will just answer it, but I won't open the back. I come to the front, the car is still locked, and I'll turn it on and just roll down the window just a little bit. And every cop that I've met or ranger has been absolutely so nice, and I don't really think that people are bad. I don't think the majority of people are bad. I think the majority of people are good, definitely, and that has only been proven to me the more I travel. But you want to take the proper precautions, you know? Like, I used to say this as a kid, or someone told me this as a kid: hope for the best, prepare for the worst. So that's kind of my philosophy. Like, so yeah, I will answer. I will if I feel that it's safe, and a lot of times they're really nice and they'll just recommend me a place to park that I'm allowed to park, which is great. And I think that's kind of it. Oh, I don't get gas at night. I really don't leave my van at night, actually. And I don't advertise my van unless I'm like at a beach or a pretty place. Like, I mean, again, you just kind of feel out the location, because I actually do leave my van out a lot, but if I'm in the city, I try not to, because I just think it's kind of like advertising all your valuables, you know? I don't know. In terms of like theft and stuff getting stolen, which is a big possibility, especially in some of the places I go, there's definitely a lot of break-ins in cars. I just kind of hide my stuff, my valuable stuff, and I have certain hidden spots for them, and I don't always put them there, but when I'm in the city and I know it's a city that has a lot of break-ins to cars, I'll just do that. And yeah, because it's your home, you know? Like, I have all my belongings in here, everything I own. So yeah, I mean, it's different than if I were to get just a car broken into. Like, this is my car and my home being broken into, so I really don't want that. So I do hide my valuables, and that's basically it. That's all the safety tips that I kind of use. And so far I've felt really, really safe, actually. And there have been things that have happened, struggles and challenges along the way. Not necessarily in terms of safety, but just me having to like really figure out and trust myself and like navigate situations. And again, I think those calculated risks are really beneficial for me, because I'm learning so much about myself, and I'm learning to trust myself on a level that I have never trusted myself before, because I'm doing this alone. I love it. I've really like been loving spending time alone. And I'm also just kind of like, I don't know, you get to know yourself, like what you feel and when you need when you need certain things and stuff like that. And I hope that if you live in a van or you're traveling at all, any of these tips helped you. And yeah, I don't know. That's all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.